They shall be born with locks of hair that must never be cut. Heed this warning, for disaster shall befall thee should thou defy it. Once upon a time in an African village there lived a couple named Noah and Rita. They were known far and wide for their kindness, humility, and unwavering love for each other. However, despite their happiness and the love they shared, there was one sorrow that lingered in their hearts like a shadow cast by the setting sun. Noah and Rita had been married for 15 long years, yet they had not been blessed with a child of their own. Each passing year seemed to deepen their longing for a little one to fill their home with laughter and joy. Every time a newborn arrived in the village, Rita would shower the infant with gifts, her heart heavy with the hope that this act of kindness would somehow bring her the child she yearned for. But as the years went by and still no child graced their home, Rita's heart grew heavy with despair. Whenever she returned from a naming ceremony, she would retreat to her room, locking herself away from the world. As tears streamed down her cheeks in the solitude of her grief, she would pray tirelessly to the gods of the land, begging for their mercy and blessing. "Please, gods of our land," she would whisper through her tears, her voice trembling with emotion. "Even if the child is blind or crippled, I do not mind. I only ask for a child of my own to fill the emptiness in my heart." One day, as Rita wept alone in her room, Noah entered, his heart heavy with concern for his beloved wife. He approached her gently, wrapping his arms around her trembling form as he whispered words of comfort. "Do not despair, my dear Rita," he murmured softly, his voice filled with love and reassurance. "Though our path may be difficult, know that I am here by your side, now and always. Together, we will face whatever trials may come, and our love will guide us through the darkest of nights." Rita looked up at her husband, her eyes shining with tears yet filled with gratitude for his unwavering support. In that moment, she realized that though they may not have the child they had longed for, they had something far more precious, each other. And so, Noah and Rita continued to live their lives with kindness and love, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. As Rita trudged through the forest on her way to the farm, her heart felt heavier than the basket of produce she carried on her head. Tears flowed freely down her cheeks, mingling with the dust of the path as she cried out to the gods of her land. "O great and mighty gods," she wailed, her voice echoing among the trees. "Why is my life filled with such woe? Am I cursed, or did some unseen force conspire against me? While others rejoice in the laughter of their children, I am left barren and alone. When, oh when, shall my prayers be answered? Even if only one child graces my arms, even if they be not perfect, I beg of thee, grant me this one boon." Her cries seemed to pierce the stillness of the forest, reaching the ears of the ancient spirits who dwelt among the trees. In response, a gentle voice floated forth from the rustling leaves, carrying with it a promise of hope. "Rita, dear daughter of the land," it whispered, its tone soft yet filled with a power that stirred her soul. "Fear not, for your prayers have not fallen upon deaf ears. The gods have heard your pleas, and soon your womb shall be blessed with the gift of life. In but a few short weeks, you shalt conceive and bring forth twin sons. One shall rise to greatness, while the other shall tread a different path. And mark this well, they shall be born with locks of hair that must never be cut. Heed this warning, for disaster shall befall thee shouldst thou defy it." "Is this truly happening?" she whispered to herself, her voice barely above a breath. "Could it be that my years of anguish are finally coming to an end?" With trembling hands and a heart filled with both fear and hope, Rita hastened home to her beloved husband, Noah, eager to share the divine message she had received. But when she recounted her encounter to him, he shook his head in disbelief. "Dear Rita, my beautiful beloved wife," he said, his voice tinged with skepticism, "I understand you are yearning for a child, but let not your desperation cloud thy judgment. Surely someone hath played a trick upon you, and you have innocently fallen for their deceit. Let us not place too much faith in such fanciful tales." Though Noah's words brought doubt to her heart, Rita could not shake the feeling that the voice she had heard carried a truth far greater than any skepticism could diminish. And so she clung to the promise of the gods, praying tirelessly that their blessing would soon come to pass. Several weeks passed, and true to the voice's prophecy, Rita found herself with child. Months later, she gave birth to 2 beautiful baby boys, whom they named Obi and Chuka. The entire village rejoiced at the arrival of the twins, celebrating their birth with a lavish naming ceremony. 5 years had passed since the twins, Obi and Chuka, were born, and the village had witnessed their growth with fondness and admiration. On this particular day, the brothers were engrossed in a game in the backyard, their laughter filling the air as they played. Suddenly, their carefree moment was interrupted by the appearance of a venomous snake, its slithering form coiled and ready to strike at Mr. Noah, who was nearby. In a flash, Obi sprang into action, his instincts guiding him as he swiftly grabbed the serpent and subdued it, saving his father from harm. Mr. Noah stood in stunned silence, his heart pounding with gratitude and disbelief at his son's heroic act. With trembling hands, he called out for Rita, his voice filled with urgency and amazement, wanting her to witness the incredible feat their son had just accomplished. Rita rushed to her husband's side, her eyes widening in astonishment as she beheld the scene before her. Seeing Obi standing tall, his chest puffed out with pride, she couldn't help but feel a surge of emotion welling up within her. Filled with a sense of wonder and disbelief, Rita turned to her husband, her voice trembling with excitement. "Do you remember the voice that spoke to me all those years ago, promising us a child of great power and greatness?" she exclaimed. "Could it be that Obi is the one destined to fulfill that prophecy, to become the mighty hero we were told of that day?" Rita prepared a sumptuous feast to celebrate Obi's bravery, filling the air with the tantalizing aroma of her cooking. As they gathered around the table, Noah and Rita showered Obi with praise for his courageous act, though they couldn't help but voice their concern. "Obi, my brave son," Rita began, her voice tinged with a hint of worry, "you should have called out to your father for help instead of risking yourself." But Obi, ever humble yet steadfast in his convictions, responded with a reassuring smile. "Mother, father," he said earnestly, "the danger was too close, and there was no time to waste. I didn't want to startle father, so I acted quickly to protect him." As they dined on Rita's delicious cooking, the praise and attention lavished upon Obi filled the room with warmth and admiration. However, amidst the joyous atmosphere, a shadow of jealousy began to creep into Chuka's heart. Watching his younger brother being praised and pampered by their parents, Chuka couldn't help but feel a pang of jealousy. Seeing Obi receive all the attention made him feel left out and envious. One day, as they returned from the farm, Chuka approached his father and expressed his desire to be rid of his dreadlocks, feeling tired of them. Mr. Noah recalled the words spoken by the mysterious voice to his wife, advising them not to hesitate if any of their children wished to cut their hair. Without hesitation, Mr. Noah fetched a pair of scissors from the house and proceeded to cut off Chuka's dreadlocks. Chuka beamed with happiness at the newfound freedom from his long hair, feeling relieved and content with his decision. One fateful morning, a hunter set out into the bush with hopes of securing game to sell at the next village market and provide for his family. However, as he ventured deeper into the wilderness, tragedy struck. A massive lion, lurking in the shadows, ambushed the hunter, overpowering him and ultimately claiming his life. As dusk approached and the hunter failed to return home, his worried wife grew increasingly anxious. Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, she braved the gathering darkness and sought help from the king. Concerned for the welfare of his subjects, the king immediately dispatched a team of youths and seasoned hunters to search for the missing man. After a thorough search, the rescue party stumbled upon a grisly scene, the lifeless body of the hunter lying motionless on the ground, his fate sealed by the savage attack of the lion. Shock and sorrow swept through the group as they somberly carried the fallen hunter back to the village. News of the tragic incident spread like wildfire, sending waves of fear and apprehension throughout the community. With uncertainty looming over their once peaceful village, precautions were swiftly implemented. Villagers were instructed to travel in groups when venturing into the fields or embarking on hunting expeditions, wary of the unseen dangers lurking in the wilderness. Gathered in the village center, the people looked worried and confused. They wondered why their peaceful village was suddenly in turmoil. "Are the gods angry with us?" one person asked nervously. "Have we done something to upset them?" Others nodded, sharing the same concern. "Could there be a dangerous animal nearby?" someone else suggested, eyeing the surrounding forest warily. As they discussed, their fear grew. "We need to find out what's happening," exclaimed one person bravely. "Let's work together to solve this and bring back peace to our village." With a sense of unity and determination, the villagers joined forces to confront the menace that had disrupted their tranquil way of life. Guided by the experienced hunters, they ventured deep into the forest, their hearts heavy with worry but their spirits strong with resolve. However, their hopes were dashed when, out of the shadows, a fierce lion emerged, its imposing figure striking fear into the hearts of the hunters. In a flurry of claws and teeth, the beast attacked with savage ferocity, overpowering the villagers and leaving devastation in its wake. Despite their valiant efforts, the hunters were no match for the sheer strength and aggression of the lion. Amidst the chaos and tragedy, only one hunter managed to escape the brutal assault, fleeing back to the village with a heavy heart and a harrowing tale to tell. As he relayed the grim news to his fellow villagers, their hearts sank with grief and anguish, realizing the full extent of the danger they faced. Determined not to succumb to fear and despair, the villagers rallied together, their voices raised in a chorus of defiance and desperation. They marched to the king's palace, their eyes filled with determination as they pleaded with him to take action against the relentless threat that loomed over their village. "Enough is enough," they cried out, their voices echoing with sorrow and frustration. "Your Majesty, we cannot continue to endure such loss and suffering at the hands of this monstrous beast. We implore you to intervene and protect us from this grave danger." The king rose to his feet, his voice firm and reassuring as he addressed his distraught villagers. "Fear not, my loyal subjects," he declared, his words echoing with determination. "I vow to find a solution to our troubles and restore peace to our village." But one villager, his patience worn thin by empty promises, spoke up boldly. "Your Majesty," he declared, his tone tinged with frustration, "we are tired of waiting for solutions. We need action, not just words." In a bid to appease the angered villagers, the king made a decisive decree: "Anyone who can defeat the mighty lion and bring it back here will be handsomely rewarded," he proclaimed, his voice ringing out with authority. "I will divide the village in two, and the victor will receive one part as their reward. Furthermore, they will be granted the honor of marrying one of my daughters." As the villagers heard the king's offer, a wave of excitement swept through the crowd. Suddenly, everyone was eager to defeat the mighty lion in hopes of claiming the handsome reward promised by the king. With newfound determination, they set their sights on the daunting task ahead, ready to face the fearsome beast and seize the opportunity for a better future. As Obi and Chaka arrived home, now 20 years old, Obi announced his intention to confront the fearsome lion that plagued their village. Rita's eyes widened in shock and concern as she heard her son's bold declaration. "No, my son, you can't go," she exclaimed, her voice filled with worry. "We've only just found happiness with you and your brother. I can't bear the thought of you risking your life in that evil forest." Obi, undeterred by his mother's pleas, responded with determination. "Mother, I'm not doing this for the reward," he reassured her. "I'm doing it for our people, to end their suffering and bring peace back to our village." Just then, Noah entered the room, his expression mirroring Rita's concern. "No, son, we can't allow you to go," he interjected, his voice stern yet tinged with sadness. "We can't bear the thought of losing you or your brother." Seeing the distress on his parents' faces, Obi relented, realizing the pain his decision was causing them. "I promise, mother, father," he said solemnly, "I won't go against your wishes. I won't risk our family's happiness and safety." With heavy hearts, Rita and Noah embraced their son, grateful for his obedience and relieved that he had chosen to stay by their side. Though the desire to protect their village burned within him, Obi knew that his family's love and well-being must always come first. At midnight, Obi couldn't sleep. He felt restless, like something was calling him. So he woke up his brother Chaka and whispered, "I'm going to the forest to hunt down the lion. Don't tell our parents." Chaka's eyes widened with surprise. "But why, brother? Our parents are old. Please don't go. Do you want them to worry?" With determination, Obi dressed in armor and armed himself with a sword, resembling a warrior on a mission. As he set out into the deep forest, Chaka smiled to himself, harboring secret thoughts. "Yes, let him go and never come back alive," he muttered silently. "I just want him gone so I can have my parents to myself. How I want Obi gone. He is my youngest, yet my parents seek his permission for everything. Even the villagers love him more. The girls are always around him. Let him go, and I will see how he's going to conquer the mighty lion," Chaka said, smiling to himself as he watched Obi disappear into the night. Hey everyone, if you're loving the story unfolding before your eyes, we need your help to keep the magic alive. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, share this post with your friends, and also turn on notifications bell. We want to hear from you, so drop a comment below and let us know if you're excited for part 2. Stay tuned for more twists and turns in this captivating tale. Your support means everything.